So today we want to talk about three things. First, how to fit your big idea into a super tiny pocket. Next, how to get the support you need without wearing Spanx. And third, how to gain a larger audience without losing your shirt. With the onset of COVID in 2020 and the stay-at-home mandate, business owners were forced to get a little more creative on how they interacted. With physical networking no longer an option, Zoom became a commonplace solution, not only for work, but for school and personal interactions. But once things started opening up again, the concept of not touching anything became the new norm. And as a result, much like bell bottoms, QR codes seem to circle back around into a place of popularity. So let's nerd it out for a second. A QR code is a 2D matrix code, which means it can be read both vertically and horizontally. QR is short for quick response. And the symbol can be captured, you guessed it, on the camera from your mobile phone and then digitally processed. These little guys are also pretty dang durable because even if 30% of the surface gets destroyed by, let's say, a wolverine or a small child, they will still scan correctly. QR codes can contain URLs to websites, links to multimedia sources such as image, videos, galleries. They can also connect and send out a text message, connect to public Wi-Fi, or even import contact details. They're useful for anyone who's looking for a quick and easy way to share information with customers or clients, and are especially useful when space is limited. QR codes are simple to create and can be customized with your brand logos or color. They can share digitally and be printed on any type of material, probably even as a tattoo. So additionally, data from QR codes can be easily tracked, which is especially important when you're measuring any type of marketing effort. So you can use a QR code to engage and promote any type of marketing campaign by driving traffic to your website or landing page and or increasing your social media outreach. QR codes can provide more information about your business, and the information quickly goes to the user's device. You can share details about yourself, product, services, or directions. You can use a QR code to educate. Maybe you want to send someone to a cool infographic about wolverines. Whatever you need to do, you can use a QR code. Use it to motivate your clients or customers to go to a website, download an app, sign up for services, send you their contact information, pull up a survey, motivate your clients to leave you a review. For the app, I use QR Code Monkey because I like the name. Plus, it's free and easy to use. You can see all the cool things at the top of their designer, from everything from the URL to Twitter and beyond. If you want to track and have all the bells and whistles, you'll need to sign up for a paid account. Prices start around $5 a month, and that's just for the basics, and then prices kind of go up from there. I like to use the free version personally, because as an alternative, you can also track and analyze through Google Analytics account. You can set up your URL there, and it's a little techy, but anybody who's interested in knowing a little bit more about that, I can share a link to the instructions in the chat when we're finished here. When you do track your code, you can measure the scan performance and fine-tune campaign timings, content, or QR code position. I created this V card, which took me about 8 minutes. QR codes are a great way to get your big idea in front of clients and customers, especially when space is limited. So next, let's talk about getting the support you need without wearing Spanx. If you're looking for an additional help on projects or administrative tasks, or don't want the cost or hassle of hiring full or part-time workers, you may want to look into getting a virtual assistant. There's tons and tons of VA websites out there, and sometimes it can be kind of hard to know where to start, or which one is right for your own needs. So today we're going to just take a look at two, so you can be one step closer to getting the support you need. Although I've had experience with various freelance websites, we're just going to look at these two, and I've had experience with both of them. So in most cases, freelance type websites operate in one of two ways. They're either an open marketplace or a managed service. Hubstaff falls into the category of marketplace. Magic used to be solely known as a managed service company. However, they recently announced a new offering, which is perfect for everyone here at E4E, because it's for individuals and businesses, and it's called Dedicated Unmanaged. So as an overview, this is a free resource. There's no markups, no middleman, no fees. In other words, it's pretty much a DIY solution. So you go in, you create a company photo, a profile on their website, you enter your job description, you search thousands of contractors based on their skill level, their location, or any type of category you want to search for. You can invite talent directly to your job, or you can make it public and accept applications. Then you would end up going through each applicant, you'd set up your own interviews and choose someone, and then hopefully you would hire them. My personal experience is that I was able to control the entire process. When I did select candidates, I was able to negotiate hourly rate. I did have to do all the vetting myself. There's no protection against any sort of scams on this, and I did encounter one poser during my hunt, but that just kept things fresh for me. Not all profiles were current, so that was a little annoying. And then I had several agencies respond fronting as individuals, even though I was asking for an individual. All this being said, after weeding through about 80 applicants, I hired 5 people. And then that was about 3 or 4 years ago, and 2 of them, who are amazing team members of mine, they are still with me today. So I'd say that was a pretty decent measure of success. So this was my very first experience hiring VAs, and needless to say, I had to kiss a lot of frogs in the process. If you want to save some bucks and you're down for getting your hands a little bit dirty, this might be a good solution for you. If not, your best bet is to aim for a type of dedicated, non-managed or managed solution. So let's talk about Magic. As mentioned earlier, although it was known basically for being a full managed service, they just recently introduced a tier that's perfect for individuals and businesses called dedicated or unmanaged. This is what interests me. When I signed up for an account, I was a little shocked that I wasn't asked to fill out a bunch of company information, bio information, business objectives, or the name of my firstborn. I also didn't have to weed through a bunch of questions about what I thought what I wanted in my talent, but wasn't quite sure. And this was my experience when I signed up for other services. They ask a bunch of questions and you're just not sure. All I was prompted to do was choose a day and a time for a discovery call. And so that's what I did. One of the biggest differentiators between Magic and other commonly known solutions like Upwork and FreeUp is their concierge service. When I met with Alan, he made me feel very relaxed. He answered my initial inquiries and then began to ask me questions. He had already looked at my website, so he knew a little something about my business. I came into the meeting not quite sure of which kind of talent I wanted, what would be a good fit for me, but by the time that we ended the interview, he had kind of helped me narrow things down. I was able to be very specific with him on multiple levels, extremely specific about what I was looking for. And a few hours later, he sent me candidates to review via email, and then we set up another appointment to meet the first one. Basic overview, there's no contracts, no annual commitments. They basically source all the talent, screen the talent, handpick the talent, hire the talent. You're able to get the support you need quick if you're in a hurry. With a new dedicated tier, you have set pricing with a minimum hour requirement. For example, for an executive administrative assistant, it's $10 an hour, but you have to commit to 25 hours a week. They bill weekly, and they also offer fully managed options priced from $35 an hour to $2K a month. My experience is that I loved it. This is a good long-term solution, but if you're wanting someone to do just a one-off project, you're going to want to look at Upwork or Fiverr. So I'm heading up a team with a VA from Magic, and she's absolutely amazing. I can attest to how amazing their support is. She's extremely proactive, super responsive, very intelligent, and eager to learn. The last point is, you got to be prepared. You need to make sure you have both the resources as well as work lined up ahead of time to make the best use of this service. Last area we're going to focus on is how to gain a larger audience without losing your shirt. So I'd like to finish up today by bringing some awareness about web accessibility. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans experience some sort of disability. Many members of this group use the web differently than the typical website visitor. Some use screen readers or require color contrast to their web page between each element on the page, and some rely on additional visual cues for page navigation. The WCAG is a global standard of compliance set forth to allow people with disabilities to effectively use websites. Web accessibility and the American Disabilities Act are legal, mandatory for all websites. Yet in 2018 to 2019, there was a 300% increase in lawsuits and demand letters. And in 2020 alone, there were an estimated 265,000 demand letters sent out to business owners. A few of the companies sued because their web designs weren't fully compatible with screen readers. I think you can recognize the logos here. You've got Apple, Amazon, eHarmony, and Domino's. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm just a small business. These are big companies. No one's going to come after me. Maybe, maybe not. Here's a question. How many of those 61 million adults could really use your products or services, but can't because they're not able to access your website? So let's look at some accessibility options. First, we're going to look at free WordPress options, WP accessibility, and one-click accessibility. These are free plugins, and basically their descriptions are very, very similar. So I want you to listen to this. These plugins help with a variety of common accessibility problems in WordPress themes. While most accessibility issues can't be addressed without directly changing your theme, this plugin adds a number of helpful accessibility features. Here's the disclaimer and the kicker. This plugin is not intended to make your site compatible with any accessibility guidelines. Okay. That's interesting. So let's look at this freemium plugin. It's basically free with a premium upgrade, WP accessibility. It starts about $99 for a website and offers certain bonuses that you don't see in the other two, which are accessible pop-ups and widgets, accessibility helper buttons, support for WP, ML, and Polylang, sepia mode, and monochrome mode. It's a little bit better. So for a super high level of compliance, there are SaaS options available. I have one of these on my website. I have this solution available. When you're finished, when we're all finished here, you can check out my website, not while we're in our meeting though, and to just kind of see how it works. This solution works on a multiple over 23 kinds of platforms. So it works on any kind of website, whether it's WordPress or whatever. The solution leverages AI technology to scan your website for accessibility issues on both the back end and the front end of your site. It learns the purpose of your page elements and makes adjustments to alt tags, ARIA attributes, icons, buttons, forms, and makes it basically a better experience for the user. It also alters your page structure to make them more keyboard navigatable, including modifying drop-downs, pop-ups, forms, buttons, skip links. The solution performs and delivers daily scans for content changes that you might make, reducing friction when you make adjustments to your website. So unlike the free and premium plugins, it fully covers visually impaired users as well as motor impaired users. The other plugins that you get, whether they're free or paid, they just don't cover those two areas. This robust type of solution has a variety of tiers and options. A majority of sites can be covered with this technology, very affordable at about $499 a year, which when you think about it is well worth the investment. So my time is up, but if you want more information on QR codes, virtual assistants, or making your site WACG and ADA compliant, please feel free to reach out. And if you have any questions, let me know.